Here we are. It's another Sunday morning here at Florida Media. Today, I have my good friend of about a decade, Jeanine, stopping in to come and say hello. What's up, Jeanine?
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Well, everyone knows I am not a morning person, so to roll in here at like 10:30 in the morning is definitely, I'm a little groggy still. But you're a morning person. You've been up for how many hours?
I'm very much a morning person. Yes. Early bird.
All right. Well, the fam gets up. You have two kids.
Two kids. One in college who was home this weekend.
Lars and Fiona. I feel like there's a whole lot we could talk about just them. But first, I just want the people to know, my thing with you is I usually call you Doc.
Yes, you do.
I do. I don't know. Does anyone else call you Doc besides me?
People do. They call me like Dr. Beanie, Dr. J, Dr. different things.
Dr. J, I like that.
Yeah. And then like Dr. Sorensen at work I get, like when I get paged and all of that. It's like, Dr. Sorensen, please call the main office. Dr. Sorensen, go to whatever room.
Well, I mean, I think I know, but I know most people probably don't know, especially like the Surf Squad. So when you say you're a doctor, what are your credentials when we say doctor?
So I have my doctorate in psychology.
Okay.
Specifically community and school. So it basically means like I work in the educational system. I understand community systems, partnerships, and I feel like I've used it to my advantage in that way.
Okay. So when you're working at the schools, like what is or what was, because I know you just got a little bit of a change.
Yes.
Of, I guess,
role.
So like what was your position working with the kids, and then what did that turn into, I guess, in the past couple months?
So I was I am a school psychologist still, but I was a school psychologist in a building, Lindell School, for 20 something years, September of 2003 until just this past June. So when you're a building psychologist, you have the role of dealing with any issue that comes up for those 400 and something students at any point in time. It also includes doing evaluations for students that are up for reevaluation or initial evaluation for any type of special education service, 504, behavior management, teacher consultation, parent consultation, working with administration. I could go on, but it's kind of boring.
No, I get it. But but you're one-on-one with the kids.
Or in a group, or working with teachers on behavior, working with teams on behavior. So a child, let's say, has some type of behavior, physical aggression, whatever it may be, verbal aggression. So we analyze the behavior and have to come up with a way to make it work within a school system.
Interesting. And are these kids like with all these kids all together? Or are they like in special programs? Or
so it depends. I mean, you can have a student who enters kindergarten or whatever, they could be whatever age, that just has no other identifying factor, but they have some type of behavior that they're exhibiting in school, and it's our responsibility to help support them so that they can access their education within school. I mean, it's always within reason. If they're obviously hurting someone or doing certain things, like there's a code of conduct that has to be followed, but
interesting.
The charge is to work collaboratively with the team, identify the triggers to a student's behavior, understand the environmental factors, and have them be as successful as possible. I mean, that's really the law too.
Right.
They have the right to access their educational setting in a public system. So
now, and then rolling forward, so what is your position look like then today?
So I transitioned into district psychologist for elementary school.
Okay.
So I manage all students that are out of district, which means that behaviors or whatever management need or whatever it was or is cannot be educated within Long Beach Public Schools.
Got it.
So they attend Hagedorn Little Village or BOCES or some type of alternate setting for their education. So I manage their case, work with their team at that school, and I visit them. So I travel now for work. Do some of their evaluations.
I know you probably can't talk specifically, but like, is there like a specific case in mind that, I don't know, or a situation that sticks out in, I guess, how many years you're doing this now?
Oh, 25.
Yeah. So is there anything that sticks out in your mind?
There's been ones that stick out for good and bad. Like sometimes it's really stressful, and I've had stressful cases. Or maybe a difficult situation, or I had to see a child go through something difficult, or maybe a difficult parent who at that point was having a hard time, coping with their child's issues. And sometimes it just comes out in other ways, maybe on us, which, you develop a very thick skin doing this, that you don't take it personally. But I think like one of the things that really resonates with me is I see young adults all over town that I may have helped back in the day that are like, oh my God, Dr. Sorensen, like, here's my child, or here's this. It makes me feel a little bit old, but it's really cool to see. In fact, I work with many people that I helped in the past now. So they're like teaching assistants, one's a speech pathologist there. So it's a whole like kind of circle of life when you start to be a colleague of someone that you are supporting at some point in their educational career.
Right. And your two kids are trailblazers themselves.
They're busy.
They're busy. So hold on. So let's talk about Lars for a minute.
Okay.
I mean, I know both your kids for 10 years. Lars, all of a sudden, I don't know how many years ago, he just started playing the drums.
Oh, he's 4. His whole life.
He's been playing. Well, the first time I saw him playing them, he was like where the food trucks are on the butt end behind the surf club.
Yes.
That was like how many years ago?
I mean,
had to be 4 or 5.
Oh, more probably. He was young. He was probably in middle school and he's in college now. Yeah.
And it's crazy how that's developed into where it is today. I mean, tell me what's going on with Daryl and this album coming out.
So Lars is in college, which is really cool and awesome because that's a good like groundwork for him no matter what happens.
Of course.
For music business and entertainment studies. So with Daryl, he's been an unbelievable mentor for Lars.
Well, I guess we should also say who Daryl is. I mean, I say Daryl like everyone knows who Daryl is, but Daryl is
DMC from Run DMC.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Daryl McDaniels, who, I mean, I guess I could talk about how it even happened. So a few years ago when Lars was in a band called These Guys, they played It's Tricky and they played all over Long Beach in different venues and had a little bit of a following for a young band of young kids. And they played It's Tricky all the time. And I don't know who, somewhere within his crew, people found them and they connected through Instagram or whatever it was. And he invited them to Comic-Con. And my husband and other dads took the kids to Comic-Con. They met him and then they played with him in Long Beach and the story just goes on from there, which is super cool. I think the connection for Lars, he was older than the other kids. And also Daryl happens to have a non-for-profit, which obviously resonates in our world, you included, and the surf world. So he supports kids in foster care. So we started collaborating with them through Surf for All, and we bring the kids in foster care to surf outings at the beach, at the wave pool, and so on and so forth. Lars is involved in all of that.
Right, but now Lars was just recording with Daryl for what again? So
Daryl has an album coming out. And from my understanding, when I was at the recording studio, when I asked, I'm like, Daryl, what's happening here? This is like really exciting. He said he has an album coming out and each track has a different artist on it.
Okay.
So he named different people. Like, I don't know if it's the whole band. It's like some part or person from Limp Bizkit, someone from Guns N' Roses, someone from Skid Row, someone from Public Enemy.
And Lars
Travis Barker
and Lars Sorensen
on one of the tracks. So, it's funny because if you know Lars, he's pretty quiet and definitely humble. Not always quiet, but quiet, compared to others maybe. And he turned around and looked at Daryl and said, "Why did you pick me?" And Daryl said, "Because you know how to drum." So Lars is on that album. I'm still not sure the name of the album. I'm waiting to find out. But they're recording some still shots and a music video soon. The track is fully recorded.
Wow.
And we'll see. It's really exciting.
That is pretty crazy.
But he's still a college kid having fun and studying, but he has these cool things on the horizon that I think give you something to look forward to and continue to aspire to.
And now, Fiona.
Where
do we start?
She's not quiet.
Where do we start?
She's not like her brother. She's definitely not quiet. So Fiona is spunky. She's an athlete. She keeps us super busy traveling for lacrosse. She loves to surf, but never in a surf competition and never at surf camp. At surf camp, she's sweet and she helps the kids with disabilities and then likes to surf on her own. She modeled when she was a little tiny baby. And then she stopped because at that time it was really hard for us to keep up. So I think you had said some things to me like, I've been taking pictures of her for a while. Maybe consider modeling.
Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of felt like it was just like, I don't know, like there was like a missed chances, you know, because, you know, she is a cute kid and she's got that attitude. I feel like I've taken her, you know, to a couple shoots, and I just feel like she's very commanding of a room, like when she walks in, and you get the vibe. Like we were walking around in the city, just standing at a corner waiting for the light to change, and I just feel like everybody around was just like just watching her just talk on the phone for some reason, just because she's just like.
She's like a little boss lady.
Yeah, she stands out. Like all she needed was a briefcase.
right. If it was like the 80s, maybe she'd have a briefcase.
But yeah, what I forgot. What has she done lately? Macy's.
She just did Macy's holiday shoot at Jack Studios. She's doing KDJ New York Tuesday.
Okay, and then Calvin Klein she's done.
Mm-hmm. She just did the Athleta back to school shoot, focusing on lacrosse.
Right, Appaman.
That you took her to Appaman.
Right.
She didn't get Love Shack fancy. You took her to that.
I know. It was a nice office, though.
That was her first day of middle school. She had to leave early. That was a thing. Remember that?
That is funny. And I think it's funny that I also have the credentials to be able to take her out of school whenever I roll in there.
Yes, you do, because that's where we're going with this. When she gets called out, she's got to go. She's done with David Butterman and other people some editorials. So she's been in Harper Bazaar in Italy. She's been in Skimparello twice, which is also an Italian magazine. That was with, I think, Frank Mathery. And I think another one's coming out. I think it's called Luna or Lemon. I think it's Luna.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah, and some other things. So she loves it.
Well, that's good. There's things on the horizon. And if you want to see our website, it's FionaSorensen.com. It's live.
It is. Lars is under construction.
Yeah, Lars is under construction. We got to get some more drum footage.
Yeah. We have it. It's just not organized. So,
so
they're busy. They keep us busy. They keep everyone around them busy.
Talking about being busy, I know you have something else going on that you do professionally that maybe not a lot of people know about. Yes. You have like, you know, I don't want to call it coaching because there's a lot of coaches these days, and you know, coaches are great. I feel like I do a couple podcasts here with some coaches, but you know, these are people that are just out there helping other people, which is great, but they don't have all the accolades and schooling that you do. Right. So
you would call what I do consulting.
Okay.
Really. It's not therapy. It's, I guess, kind of coaching if you wanted to call it that, but not, I mean, I guess you could call
a higher level of coaching.
I would
perhaps
say it's more consulting. I try to do like brief, my like way of thinking about it as a personal trainer for your mental well-being, gaining clarity so you could be successful in business, successful in whatever it is that you're doing, sports, business, life, relationships.
I can use a lot of that.
We all can. So that's, I think, where I've morphed and started doing that almost without even planning it. For different people, it's, you know, I get calls very frequently. And those calls could be my child struggling and they're being evaluated or getting diagnosed with something. But what I find is a lot of people will call with life things that we all go through that are going on, that until you sort out like those details and kind of like break it apart and put some pieces here, maybe some pieces here, and to be able to focus on your everyday life in business or for a child or teen in sports or whatever it may be. It's like dealing with the obstacles we all face in life, being able to understand them, what to do with them so that you can keep your clarity and function on a daily basis and be successful. That's the type of stuff that I've been doing with people.
Is this more catered to adults?
I would say probably, or like teens. Yeah, most likely.
I struggle constantly with two things. I'm an overthinker. Because I always want to like create something or post something or do something. I ended up working on it so much that it never gets to the point where I ever let it go out there because I'm still working on it.
Right.
And then also having like, what's that other phrase?
Like procrastinating?
Imposter syndrome. That's what it is.
That's a new one for me.
Really? Because I've heard that a lot. It's like, you know, when you're having imposter syndrome, it's like, even if I'm have all the credentials in the world and I've done what I've done, like I feel like I still can't give like a speech on doing podcasting or on photography or, you know, so
we both think the same way. I'm never having a podcast talking about how I help people, and you who runs the podcast are not talking about yourself because we're both helping other people.
Right. It's like, am I the right person to give a photography clinic?
Yes.
See, well, I think maybe I'm not.
Right. Well, I get it. Right. Like, why am I on a podcast? Mel Robbins is on podcast talking about let them. Right. But I almost do the same thing all the time in life and have a doctorate in it, but I'm not sitting. Right. This is the first time I'm doing a podcast.
Right.
So it's kind of silly.
So it's like, I am good enough and I do know what I'm doing.
Right.
So I should be out here doing these things.
Right. Exactly.
It's interesting stuff, man.
No, it is, because you doubt yourself.
I do.
Or you think maybe someone doesn't want to hear it. But everyone needs, a personal trainer for their mental well-being, and everyone needs a podcast to be able to help others and talk about things that are going on in life.
Hey, the world needs more video content. I feel like everyone needs, like I had a couple guys come in last week. They were just shooting just stuff for social media, not even so much as a podcast, just like shorts of them just talking to the camera saying, hey, this is our phone number. This is what we do. And we're here and, we're in Rockville Center. And so people come in here for like so many different reasons. But I did want to talk a little more about the charity that we both, work for.
That's how we know each other. Yeah.
Right. So I don't know, I guess my role as, marketing and photography, and then your role would be?
I guess it's director of operations. That's like what we came up with at some point.
Okay, but you are on the beach.
Yes.
You're on the beach, you're hands-on, you're helping these kids in the water to a degree. I know you're not out in the ocean.
Definitely not a surf instructor.
But you're on the beach, you're helping with issues that arise, and you're making everyone comfortable. And so what does a beach outing look like, for you when you're out there?
So the outing is different than the camp. So
not the camp. Let's talk like an outing.
So an outing. People register online. We share the link. They come. It's, one-on-ones of kids going in. It's really helping them gain comfort, whether they need a life jacket, how they're feeling, talking to them about all of that. We rely heavily on volunteers as well. I think organizing and synthesizing what's happening is probably where I come in. Getting them there. I don't think people realize, because no one would think about it, what it takes sometimes for someone to come down. It's a really big deal to have cerebral palsy and come down when you can't use your limbs and go on a surfboard and go out in the ocean.
And these people are trusting our people that they don't drown.
Right. So their family's trusting us, they're trusting us, and literally their life, it's an extreme sport, so it's a really big deal. So I guess, not only what happens on the beach, it's what happens before. I often speak to families on the phone before. I explain the training surf instructors have, that lifeguards are there, we have adaptive boards, so on and so forth. So a lot goes into it. It's almost like, your wash gets done and you think it's like a wash fairy. I think I'm like the fairy. Everyone gets there, but there's a lot that goes into getting people there. They don't just click a button and say, oh, I trust these people because I signed this signed this waiver.
Right.
There's a lot that goes into it. And so many people in all of, the surf family world, we know each other from these outings that started a while ago, kids that come to the camp, ends up at the wave pool, and so on and so forth. But it's a connection that happens, and I think it starts in that beginning phase, and then, they meet the instructors, and they might have a favorite, and they meet, Cliff and Will or whoever, and so on and so forth. And then, it develops. But there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes to get that trust and that space for people to feel comfortable and, engage in the actual act of surfing.
Right. And for me, it's either depending on, the weather conditions or the group, and I'm either in the water taking pictures and video, or I'm on the beach with my camera in my hand. But I don't know, it's crazy because when I'm in the water taking pictures and I get home and I start going through everything and I'm looking at the things on my screen, it's sometimes I don't know, I get overly emotional when I'm looking at these pictures. And
it's a really big deal.
Yeah, it's kind of heavy. When you see these people, a mother's she doesn't usually smile, and she's nonverbal or whatever the case may be. And then I see this child looking at me and laughing, which is a rare sight. And it's happened quite a few times with different events, but it's definitely heavy to give these people, these moments, which are few and far between.
And life-changing.
Yeah.
What I find families always say is they don't have a thing. They have this disability that impacts their ability to kind of operate independently, probably, I guess you could say, in society or in life. And they now have a thing because with a coach, it's just as accessible for anyone else, the ocean and the water. So it gives them a thing. And many families will say, like, we have students with autism or ADHD or different, cognitive disabilities where they take on surfing and it opens up an entire world socially and, motorically and physically and sensory and all of that for their future. Like, it really changes who they are.
Yeah.
Versus being home after school or being home on the weekends. I mean, if you go on the beach, you're with people whether you like it or not. So then you end up integrating with them, and then you end up in the water with them. And then maybe you become friends with them where that wouldn't have happened otherwise. So
right, and
it's really cool.
And a lot of these outings now, I guess, maybe last year, the year before, turned into fully going in with the weekly camp now. So instead of just the outings, now you're on the beach all week with a handful of kids.
8 years ago, the camp started.
Has it been that long? Oh yes. My God!
Yes. It was like Fiona was like a baby. Yeah, so Cliff and I had talked about it. The camp, we all know Scoot and Surf is a big camp, and it's great. But there are, they were at the time also, children who could not access Scoot and Surf because of whatever their disability is.
Right.
So we created an integrative adaptive camp. So they integrate with whatever they can do, and we adapt the environment for them as we go along. And that, I think it was 2016. So it started in Atlantic Beach at New York Beach Club because I guess we just wanted, they were still integrated with whoever was at the beach there.
Right.
That was the first year. And then we moved it right into Long Beach, which is great. But the first year, we were taking something on that was very new. We really didn't know about any other, there's a lot of organizations out there that have surf outings and so on and so forth. But this was a camp. This is, 4 hours on the beach, whatever conditions arise. So we started there and then we transitioned to Long Beach, and it's been great. I'm there. I rely on volunteers. Some campers have one-on-ones, some don't. Some will have one volunteer to 3 students, or I should say campers. It depends. And every week is different. So, and it's at no cost to the families. That's what we raise money for.
No, I guess in closing, I mean, Tell me something. Tell me something that you love about what you do.
I love being a personal trainer for mental wellness and health.
That's a good way to close. And then I guess what we'll do is we'll put some links in the bottom of this where people can reach you.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And they can find you. All right, Jeanine, thanks for coming and hanging out.
Sure, thanks for having me.
Yeah,
always fun.
Next time when you come in, maybe you could bring the kids, or maybe one at a time.
Yes, I can.
And that's it. Let's go get some lunch.
Yep, sounds good.
All right, you got it. Bye.
Bye.